Shelby. I'm one of the co-hosts of Frank and Mary in Westborough. I'm here in downtown Westborough at 21 East Main Street. I'm going to be joining my friend and our co-host Arthur Bergeron in just a few minutes as we walk inside and meet with some local business owners here for Lifeway Mobility. So let's go check it out.
Hi, Shelby. Nice to see you again.
Hi, this is my friend Arthur.
Hi, Arthur. Nice to meet you. Dan Martin.
A real pleasure.
Thank you for being our first on-the-road show of Frank and Mary in Westborough.
This is very exciting.
It's glad to have you here.
Yeah, it's thrilling to be here and be here at the home of Lifeway Mobility in Westborough.
All right, well, come on in and take a look.
Super. Well, Dan, thank you again for hosting and being our guest today. Would love to learn more about Lifeway Mobility for our audience, and it's great to have a business like yours here in downtown Westborough. So tell us about Lifeway.
Sure. So Lifeway was actually started in 2015 in Connecticut, and we have grown since then to 5 locations. So we have 2 in Connecticut. We have this one here in Westborough, Mass, and then we have one in Minnesota and another in Chicago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
It's quite a range.
Yeah, it is. It is. And so, but inherent in your name is mobility, but tell us about what you do. I know we're going to take a tour of the showroom for our audience, but what do you do here?
Yeah, we're basically a one-stop shop for people in need of safety and accessibility modifications in their home.
Okay.
So that ranges from somebody who, let's say, is aging in place and needs a few modifications to make life a little bit easier for them. They might have some minor mobility issues. But it could also be somebody who is recently confined to a wheelchair. And this person needs to, come out of rehab and be able to access their home. They're going to need to navigate it and really function in their home in a wheelchair. Right. So it's a wide range of people.
You're all over the state.
That's right.
Because you're really kind of, it's a unique company. It's a one-of-a-kind company.
Yeah, it's a
the commute is very short if you live in
Exactly,
Westborough,
right. You get to see the showroom, which is fantastic.
Yeah, exactly.
So I know we're actually going to walk through the showroom in a few minutes, but when you think about folks, like, how do they plan for this, right? So that's kind of one of the issues, and then the follow-on question to that is, how do you finance it? So I'll turn it back over to you.
Well, people don't like to plan for this, so we don't get a lot of people planning. But if I was to suggest planning to someone that is, let's say, aging in place, I would say definitely have a long-term approach to your plan. Don't just plan for the need now that they're looking for.
Don't assume that you'll never fall.
Exactly. So the name of the game is prevention. You want to prevent a fall from happening in the first place. A fall is really life-changing for people, and you want to prevent it at all costs. So you want to take a longer range approach and really kind of think about not just now, but what you're might need in the future.
Right.
Sure. And are folks usually receptive to that, Dan?
They are to a degree. I would like them to know what we have, and when they're ready, we're ready to have it for them.
Sure.
I think I would like to see people become a little safer. It doesn't seem like they're really receptive to getting everything all at once, but they'll do it in baby steps.
And I think when we were talking before we started actually rolling the cameras, you were saying that you asked folks a particular question that I thought was interesting around being, will you use this? So
right.
Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, one of the questions I ask, and I ask it because what I get from people is I don't need that. And I always say, well, I know you don't need it, but if you had it, would you use it? Because if you use it, what you're doing is you are minimizing the risk of falling. And that's really, like I said, it's the name of the game. You want to minimize that risk.
I always tell my clients that. I say, you can live a great life, a very old age, just don't fall.
Right.
Because if you fall, all of a sudden, all bets are off, things could be real trouble.
Right. So let's take us roll here through the showroom and tell us a little bit about the ramp here, because one of the first challenges, right, is how do I get in and out of my house, right?
This is great.
Great. So this is obviously a ramp. Dan, tell us a little bit about what we're looking at here.
Sure. This is an aluminum modular ramping system. So we can configure this to any height or any length. This ramp could be permanent or it could be temporary. And we could install these or disassemble these in a matter of hours. So it's a great product.
No kidding.
We can set it up for somebody very quickly, and it's actually very flexible in where you can use it. We've used these in front of houses, we've used them in garages, we've used them on back decks.
Sure.
Great, great solution to get somebody in the house.
Oh, that's great. That's fantastic, because often once folks have their loved one home, let's say from rehab, and then sort of the help is kind of disappearing, right?
Yeah.
Because people have to get back to work. Then they realize, oh my goodness, this transition is much more difficult for my loved one to navigate. And so knowing that you can kind of come in and obviously take measurements and do all that you need to do, but do that in relatively short order, that's fantastic for families to know.
Yeah, I suppose from what you're saying, obviously this can be done as a permanent or a temporary solution.
Right.
So can you rent these as well as
Absolutely.
buying them?
So based on the customer's needs, we'll figure out whether they need if it's short term, we would definitely offer a rental option. But the thing is, some people don't know. Some people may think, I might be getting better, or but they're not really sure. So we also offer rent with owning in mind.
Oh, an option to buy.
To buy.
That's great.
Right, so a good portion of their money towards the rent will go towards the purchase. So we really try to not only come up with a good solution, but come up with the most economical solution for
absolutely.
a person.
So tell us what we have over here. This is pretty interesting, Dan. We've got, I don't know what they are. That looks like a shower mat to me, and maybe a ramp.
Well, you're close. So these are called transition ramps or threshold ramps, and these will typically go, if you've ever seen a front or back door, there's always that threshold lip that's about an inch and a quarter.
Sure.
That's super difficult for somebody in a wheelchair to navigate over.
Right.
So any little floor transition or any door threshold, very hard for somebody in a wheelchair to get over, or even anybody using a wheeled device like a walker,
wheelie walker,
or a rollator.
Yep.
These make life a lot easier for them because they can just kind of ramp up and over.
And I love that these actually come in different colors. So like aesthetically, like you can kind of have them kind of blend in with your home.
Right. So these are
neat.
Are basically made to look like a doormat.
Yeah,
right. And
that's
you can see a couple of different materials here. So the aluminum is great. It's usually used on the outside.
Yep.
It's maintenance free. You'll see this one. You were close. So this is a ramp for a shower threshold. So this is a light plastic. You can pick it up. You could wash it off. Very durable. And then a lot of the rubber ramps are just kind of low profile.
I mean, it actually looks like a doormat. I wouldn't even know that it's, if you will, a mobility or assistive device.
Right.
It's funny. It's like one of the themes that I was really thinking about before the show. We were kind of looking around, and I realized so much of it is people, they're going to be living in this house, right?
Yeah.
So they want it to be safe, but they don't want it to look goofy.
Right.
They don't want to look like I came out I'm going to the hospital to visit, right?
Exactly.
Right?
So
I've got a safe way
for
to get
folks
in.
to realize once again that the industry has responded to that you've got stuff that really is kind of designed.
Yeah, there's a lot of products out there that are safe and accessible, but they're also stylish, and you're going to see some of that in the showroom.
Excellent, excellent. So once you're in the house, the immediate thing that comes to my mind is, and we were talking about falls earlier, is bathroom safety, right?
Sure.
You got wet floors,
All the time,
lips to get over in the tubs,
hard
and
surfaces.
hard surfaces.
Yeah,
so
falling's really bad in the
tell us
bathroom.
what you have to help folks in the bathroom.
Come on over this
Okay,
way.
all right. Well, we're clearly here at Bath Safety Headquarters. I love it. Right? Excellent. Right here in Westborough.
Right here.
Right. So Dan, tell us what we're looking at here.
Sure. So this is a display of a typical tub shower you might see in someone's house. So we retrofitted it and basically made a safe bathing environment out of an existing tub shower.
You retrofit it. So in other words, that tub didn't come that way. You actually were taking an existing tub and you were cutting it out.
Yeah.
That's
so
great.
Which is an astonishing thing. I mean, as a totally non-handy person, didn't know you could do that.
All right, let me show you how we do this. This is called a safety step. And what we've done is we've cut a section of the tub out and we've installed this step. So basically, a bathtub is probably the biggest barrier in the house. It's about 16 inches high. So we've now cut that down to 6 inches.
Yep.
So when we take a safety step and maybe we add a grab bar, we give a very safe and easy way for you to now access your tub, to come in and out.
Right. And we've seen a lot of these before in homes. This is pretty standard, but this thing is really interesting. What is this?
This is a great bar. It's one of my favorites. This is called a Dependa bar. This comes out.
I think I need to depend a bar.
This is
Right.
cool. Yep.
And so a lot of people that are having weakness in legs, or maybe they have a balance issue, they need something right in front of them. So along with a safety step and maybe a grab bar, you can grab something right
Oh, wow, that's
right
great.
in front of you.
Yep.
You can get yourself in. What we always like to see is 2 points of contact, right? So we have one here, one here. Bring them in, and now you have
Wow.
2 points of contact again.
And now to be able to get up, now you can get up with your arms. As opposed to
Absolutely.
this,
So a lot of people that have a weakness in legs would have
Yeah.
good upper body
Sure.
strength, grab the bar and sit themselves down.
Wow.
They could also pick themselves up. Another great feature of the bar is a lot of people that have balance issues really always want to hold on to something. So let's say, you know, when you're in a shower, what are you doing? You might be washing
Yeah.
your hair,
Right.
you might be soaping up.
Sure.
You can lean against this bar.
That's great.
Right? So
That's great.
it's a real comfort feature for someone to be able
Yeah.
to lean, be able to do what they want,
Right.
be able to grab the bar.
That's great.
Also, great bar to then get out of the tub as well.
Yep.
That's
Yeah,
the key
personally-
here. You could take your existing bathroom and make it safe.
Which
Great.
is the reason why the pricing can be so reasonable, because
Sure.
you're not just dropping in a whole bunch of new
Right.
stuff.
Right. Great. And so as we kind of move over here, these are obviously some different steps. is
Yeah,
that-
so this was a standard safety step, but some people have a much larger tub. You ever see these garden soaker tubs?
Oh, sure.
Right, so those are very deep. Those might be 24 inches tall. So we have what's called an ultra low,
Yep.
so we can cut it down even
Oh,
further.
okay. Got it.
You can get it in a different color, so this is bone if you have an ivory color tub. This is another one of my favorites. This is called the convertible. A lot of people still want to have a tub, right?
yeah.
But they also want the access of a shower.
Sure.
So this insert can be easily taken out,
Yep.
use it as a shower, and then maybe you're going to bathe your kids the next night, right?
Sure.
You're going to put
Or
your insert
husband's gotta
back
go
in.
Yeah.
And your husband really likes to take a regular bath.
Anybody, sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Right? You
That's
can put
great.
that back in.
All right, super. So as we sort of continue, we think about the bathroom. You've got
Sure.
some other features here. I have a personal favorite, this one, or you're going to demonstrate it for us.
Well, the Super Pole, yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
so
great
this
product.
is, in full disclosure, this is the one that we invested in for a family member, and it has been fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
So it's real simple. It's a pole from floor to ceiling. It's tension fitted, so it's
that would
not.
actually go all the way up to that
It would
top
go
wall
all the way up to
ceiling.
the ceiling. Very flexible pole. You can use it near your favorite chair in the living room. You could use it to help you get out of bed. We've put it many times between a toilet and a shower because you could use it to get up off the toilet. You could get it in and out of the shower.
Right.
But you could use it to get out of bed.
Absolutely.
No, what a great,
yeah.
because that's the thing, you're getting out of bed, there's never anything to hold on to.
And that's exactly
high up.
right. That was exactly our challenge, because even though my loved one has a movable bed, you know, the kind that fold up and can
Oh.
put you in all different,
Yeah.
even with that lifting mechanism, if you will, that kind
How
of
to get
core
out.
strength, like how do I get out? So the ability to kind of pull, to pull myself up, or to help me actually sit down comfortably, has been. I mean, I have someone now that can do that on their own, and I don't have to be there to help. I mean,
And that's huge.
I'm
'cause
telling you,
that's- 'cause that
this is
that's
not a
several-
commercial.
that's
This
several
is real
times a
stuff.
day. You know,
This is
that's a
true.
lot. Yeah,
This
right,
is
yeah.
really true. And we don't have this one, but this one is interesting. So tell us about this one.
Sure, this is called a PT rail. You've probably seen them in hospitals or facilities. This is kind of the residential version, and it's basically here to help someone get on and off a toilet. It comes in a left or a right, and you can kind of see an offset. The bar is offset, and this is really for somebody to be able to hold on to this and have their arms straight,
Oh,
where a lot of
interesting.
the other bars don't do that. So you can grab a hold and lower yourself
Yep.
and raise yourself much easier.
Wow.
Now you might have another user of this toilet and doesn't need the bar. You can easily just pull it up and keep it out of
That's
the way.
great. That's great. Pretty
another
slim
great-
line, not not
Right.
intrusive into,
Right,
not everyone
yeah.
has a palatial bathroom, right?
Sure,
So
sure.
very interesting.
Easy to install
Doesn't-
too.
Doesn't take up a lot of space.
Right, right. Great, excellent. All right, super. Well, as we continue on here through the showroom, tell us where we're heading next.
All right. So one of our most popular projects we do is we remove bathtubs and we put in showers. It's called a tub to shower conversion. This is a great product we use. These are the best bath showers. They are have varying thresholds from barrier-free all the way up to 4 inches high. All these walls here are plywood backed, so that means we can install any accessory on here and we don't need any sort of blocking. The shower comes as a package where you'll get a water stopper barrier, you'll get a flip down seat, grab bars, the shower valve, a handheld shower. The whole thing comes in a box. Super
You're going to
convenient.
drop this whole thing right into the bathroom.
Right into the
you're not
existing
so
opening.
you're not cutting into that back wall, into that person's back wall. You're actually, that is the back wall. You're going to just move right into the bathroom.
That's right.
Wow.
That's amazing, because blocking is so important. You can't just stick a grab bar where you don't have blocking. And no one, to our
That's
earlier
right.
conversation about planning, you
We've
don't
got
plan
a
like,
lot of
oh,
bad
I need,
stories about those.
yeah, right. Oh, I'm going to pull it and pull it right out of the wall. And so that cool bar that we saw over in Bath Safety Headquarter, the dependable, what
The
did you?
dependent bar?
The
Yeah, can
dependent
be
bar, that could be put in here
installed,
too.
and we've done that
Wow.
many times.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now you
Yeah,
mentioned,
you can mix up all these products.
Right.
You come out with a safe, accessible, and also pretty stylish.
sure.
And it looks like this width, I was mentioning once again before we started the show, this width looks like it's about the size of a typical bathtub.
It is.
So
These
it's
are-
actually designed to kind of fit right where you pull out the bathtub and you just drop one of these things in.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's great. Now, you mentioned something to our audience, but they might not have picked up. Can you talk a little bit about what barrier-free is? Because I think that even with this, as we're looking at it here, there's a short threshold right here. But tell us about that.
Sure. So barrier-free means that you're minimizing the barriers to entry. So this would be entry into a shower.
Okay.
You can do a zero clearance, which would be absolutely no barrier at all. So the floor of the bathroom becomes the floor of the shower. And that's what this is right here. So this is a barrier-free shower
Got it.
pan. This pan can be switched out to for many different styles of pans. You may want something of this size because you may be putting this pan on the subfloor, lowering it,
Yeah.
right? And
Yep.
you want your finished floor to meet up with that.
Sure.
So, us as home consultants, we would determine what would be the best threshold
What
for
works
a
best,
person.
great. And we saw earlier when we were talking about transitions, you had shower transitions too. So
Yep.
somehow that all could be
Yeah, and we can
connected.
use, if they have a shower that has a 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch lip or even a
Sure.
1 inch lip, we can use a shower ramping system
Great.
to get them in
Great.
and out. Yeah.
Great. Well, when I get old, I want to have enough time to soak in a tub. So tell us about what's going on over here, Dan.
All right, so these are, you probably see these a lot on late night TV. These are walk-in tubs.
Okay.
Basically, what I like to call this is an accessible tub. So you open the door here. This is almost like getting into a car.
Well, can
And
I
they're
try
really-
that out?
Sure, go
All
ahead.
right, excellent. Oh, I'm relaxed already. This is
All right,
fantastic.
so the door just closes.
Oh.
Does this come with a jacuzzi?
There it
I
is.
don't know, bubbles, I think. This is great. Now, why would someone want a tub versus a shower? I
Well,
mean,
there's a couple reasons. They like to have a tub instead of a shower, or they may want hydrotherapy, which is the therapy that the water in the air spa will give you.
Sure.
But I'm going to tell you a key reason that a lot of people don't know. In a shower, if you have balance issues, or let's say fainting, in a shower, you're going to fall out.
Yep.
Right? So in a tub, these walls are nice and high. Look how high this
Sure.
is, right?
Yeah,
so
I'm
if
pretty
you
tall,
have
so, yeah.
an episode where you're dizzy, off
Yep.
balance,
Yeah.
or you faint, you're
gonna be okay.
safe.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right?
Interesting.
And that's really one of the keys, and that's kind of a driving reason for me to recommend these. Actually,
Interesting.
is for safety.
And again, to Arthur's question earlier, when we were looking this in terms of width, about the same size as a tub. It feels like a little shorter.
It
maybe.
is a little shorter, but these come with extension panels. So we basically
Okay.
get the tub, and we have filler panels that can fill in
Okay.
the existing.
And the reason why it's short is because you're sitting in it, because there's actually a seat inside.
Yeah,
so you
correct.
don't need
Right.
that.
Correct.
You're not like scrunching in it.
Right. No. I'm very comfortable and I'm pretty tall, so great. Anyone can let me out whenever you want. Oh, perfect. Thank you. Your ride is over.
That was great.
That's great. Excellent. All right, super.
You should use that as part of your home movies that you have, you and your partner.
I think so.
Say this
I
when
think
you're
so.
old. Your
Yes.
daughter's
Oh,
going to
yeah.
be very amused by that.
Yeah. Well, I already know what I want for Christmas. There we go. Great.
So in the catalog, it's all going to be in the catalog.
That's right. And so obviously this is another tub. And what do we have over here?
So these are what we were talking about earlier. A lot of people, they don't want to have grab bars, and they don't want their house to look like, a hospital, and they're very worried about that. So there's a lot of products out there. I don't know if you can come in here, but these are very nice looking grab bars.
Wow.
But they're dual purpose. This is a grab bar, but it's also a towel bar.
Wow,
here.
that's great.
It's a toilet paper holder, but it's also a grab bar. So you can make
Oh.
a very stylish bathroom that happens to be safe.
I can't tell you how many people I know use their towel bar not made for
Right.
pulling,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah,
And not installed
exactly.
properly, and the next thing you know, it's like those funny little anchor screws things
Are
are coming
out,
off the wall,
that's
and
where
now
a
you
fall
get
happens. That's
right,
So
absolutely.
you can
That's
put these
great.
in and then invite your kids over and not even tell them that you put a grab bar in your bathroom.
That's right.
That's right, right,
Kind of,
right.
oh my, that's really
Yeah,
cool.
they'll be
Look
like,
at that.
wow, look at that.
Look
Look,
at that.
look
It's
at mom
pretty
and
slick.
dad. They
Yeah,
were like,
this
they're
is good.
stepping it up,
Yeah.
right? That's great. Fantastic. Excellent. Well, this is, wow, you have a lot here in the showroom, and I think we're going to see some more other items, right?
Sure.
Well, hi, Shelby. Hi, Arthur.
Hi, how are you? Good to see
A
you.
pleasure. Nice to meet you.
Good
Nice
to
to
see
meet
you.
you.
Is this what you do all day for work?
This is
that's
what I
what
do
it
all
is.
day,
That's
up
what
and
it
down,
is.
up and down.
This
By the
is-
way, I did notice before the show there were two of these. So you and your partner can actually do races and stuff. Like
Oh, we do. Maybe if you're lucky, we'll take
There's
one at
no
the end of
one
the
here? That's
show.
great.
Fantastic, fantastic. So Dan gave us a great tour of your showroom, as you know, and we've talked about getting into the home, bathroom safety, obviously stairs, right? We live in New England, not a lot of ranches, a lot of colonials. Tell us about chairlifts.
Sure. Well, the story with chairlifts, it's probably the most popular product we install, and they come in a wide variety. So there's a standard model, there's an elite model. They work on straight stairways.
Yep.
They have interior and exterior models.
Wow.
And they have the top of the line is a custom curved
Sure.
stairway. So if you have a
Yeah, kind of Victorian home
that
kind of
goes
thing.
around the corner,
right,
and we've
right.
done those,
Yep.
and those are also interior and exterior.
And
Wow.
exterior. I was amazed when you said they were actually exterior ones, right?
Yeah.
But that's a real.
Wow.
Because so many of those houses, right?
Yeah, well, you
can't
picture
get
a
in.
brownstone
Sure.
or some older home that has an elegant front entryway.
Or you
and
can't
it's-
do a ramp because you don't have the slope. for
Right,
it,
you're right,
You're
right,
kinda stuck,
exactly, right. You can't kind of take up the sidewalk from
Yeah.
my ramp,
Yeah.
right? Exactly.
Yeah, so we just installed one last week, in fact, in front of a home right on the seashore up in Everett on a pouring rain day.
Oh,
And it was,
that must have been
well,
fun.
it was fun.
Yeah, yeah.
And so those ones come with a rain cover as well.
Okay.
So it's this, this hooded arrangement that goes on it.
Interesting.
So it's not really to ride in with the cover, but
Yeah.
it's for storage.
So
Sure,
it's like
sure.
where it snows or whatever, so you can cover it.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
great. 'Cause that-
And so tell us, can folks, you sell these, do you rent them? We talked earlier with Dan about renting ramps and all of that. So tell
Oh,
us a
sure,
little bit
yeah.
about
So-
options here.
Of course, depending upon the individual needs, you can either, if it was a temporary situation and the person's recovering,
Yep.
then it may just be a rental
Sure, sure.
situation. But if it's a long-term
Yeah,
need, then you
yeah.
buy. And of course, we carry used
Oh, great.
ramps, used lifts and
Great.
new ones.
Excellent, excellent.
And oftentimes we buy them back.
Sure.
So at the end of the use,
Yep.
eventually you're not
Yep.
going to need it again. and
Right, exactly.
So we
right.
buy the.
Because
Right.
once again, for my friends Frank and Mary, when you're thinking about, this looks like a major expense, but if
Right.
you know that, A, it will get bought back,
Yeah.
and
yeah.
B, you can actually rent in the short run,
Yep.
it's great.
And one of the things, it's obviously mechanical. Do you service these as well, or how does that work? If I'm renting it, are you servicing it, or do you have folks that you can?
Call somebody
Do you
right away?
recommend? No,
Well,
do you
great
recommend
question.
folks to, or
Yeah.
how does that
Great
work?
question.
Right.
Right, so that's one of the things that Lifeway Mobility offers, is that when you buy virtually any of the products, there's a 1-year warranty. So if anything needs tweaking or
Mm-hmm. Sure.
so forth,
Okay.
through that time, it doesn't even cost you any money.
Yep.
And then we sell service agreements
Okay.
optionally if it's a long-term
Sure,
use.
sure.
For example, on the lifts, there's a few routine maintenance things that should be looked at once a
Okay,
year,
perfect.
including greasing the gear track.
Right, because if I'm
Yeah.
older and I need this, getting down and working on this may not be, something that I can do.
Right,
Right.
Right.
So
You gotta know
having-
you don't want your kids to be doing it.
No,
Keep the kids away from it.
Exactly, right. Although the grandkids would love these,
love
right?
this, yeah,
Exactly.
They are battery operated.
Okay.
So of course the batteries will fail eventually,
Yep.
and that needs to be replaced
Sure.
maybe after 2 years.
Sure.
Right.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
And so is there, to that point then, so there's not an electrical requirement for wiring? They're all battery operated?
Well, they are. There's a power connection. Actually, if you look up here at the
Okay.
top, you'll see it's plugged in. But
Okay.
all that's doing is charging the battery.
Oh, interesting.
So
Okay.
there's a little strip that goes up and down
Got it.
inside the track,
Got
and
it.
that keeps the battery charged.
Ah, okay.
And that's why it lasts for 2 years.
Yeah,
I was saying,
great.
boy, that's a really little battery.
I know, I
Lasts
need
2
those.
years, right?
Yeah, right. Excellent, excellent. So when we think about, obviously, we talked about kind of going up and down the stairs. You have some other products you were going to, I think, show us in the next room.
Oh, sure, yeah. Follow me in here.
Okay, super.
So here we've got a couple of interesting products, and this mobile device is new to the market, and again, depending upon the acuity of the patient or the elder, they may be recovering, and they may have, severe mobility concerns that they're dealing with,
Sure.
or it could be somebody that's permanently disabled.
Yeah, no, we see these a lot where folks, just for point of clarification, this is a Hoyer lift,
Yes.
right? And folks who
It's movable.
otherwise would be a two-person
Yeah.
assist. So you think about, Frank and Mary are living together, right? And Frank has difficulties getting up.
And Mary's got a big problem
and-
because she can't move
Right,
right.
and Mary is slight, right? And
Right.
so even with her strength and care and love, she can't physically move him from the bed to a chair and this is narrow. This is kind of an interesting footprint.
Yeah, so a couple neat features about it. So, and just for clarification, the Hoyer is the brand name
Oh,
of
okay.
a type, right? So
Okay.
this
Yeah,
is just
yeah.
another brand
Sure. Yeah,
of
yeah,
that.
yeah.
But with a couple of clips, this folds right down, and it can be tucked away in a closet or underneath something. It all lowers down.
Oh, that's
Got this
great.
handy little foot pedal here, so if I can straddle a toilet with it. So if I'm bringing somebody into the bathroom, I can get through the doorway while it's closed, and then as I'm approaching, I can just open it up. I can lower and raise them.
Now, I saw you doing that. So how much weight would that carry?
Carries 330 pounds. Is what it's
Wow,
rated
that's
for.
great.
Unlike the bathtub, I'm not going to get in there.
No.
And these wheels are specialized for quite a large amount of weight. You'll notice each wheel is double, and it's made to go on a carpet or a hardwood
Sure,
floor.
that's great.
This would be, as Dan was describing earlier, with those thresholds. Of course, if you're trying to navigate around your home in one of these, you're probably going to have some little
Yeah.
threshold ramps,
transitional.
transition ramps.
Yeah, excellent, excellent. And do you train families on how to operate this, right? You don't just
Oh,
drop it
yeah,
off,
most
right?
definitely,
Yeah,
sure,
Right,
yeah.
right, so that they can do a safe transfer and.
Yep,
All of
that's really what this is a safe transfer product.
Excellent.
Now, we see folks oftentimes they're recovering. So this is just a rental or it's a short time use.
Yeah.
They're going to use this just till they get through
Yep.
their OTPT, and then they're back on their feet again.
Excellent,
So-
excellent.
Well, once again, one of the handy things for people who live here in Westborough is that you're right here. So in terms of dealing with any of that,
Right.
segueing from one piece of equipment to a different one or having things checked, you're right here. right?
Exactly.
Which is great.
Exactly, great.
So
And
the,
we have
just a
another
moment
feature
on
here.
with this.
Yeah, yep.
This system is commonly seen in the hospital setting, but we've installed many of them in folks' homes, and I would say it's more for the person that's not recovering and maybe is
Yeah, sure.
going to need it for a long term.
Sure.
But it comes in a variety of form factors. So this is semi-portable. I mean, I can actually move this. Just I
Oh,
don't want
I'm
to trip
sorry.
you there,
Yep, yep,
Shelby.
yep.
So it's not that cumbersome.
Okay, yep.
There's another model that actually comes with bags, and there's two tripods,
Yep.
and the top beam mounts on there. But essentially, it's just a lift system. Normally, I'd have the same crossbar that's on the lift over here,
Okay.
on
I
here,
see.
and then this is submersible. It's waterproof. So if you were using this in a bathtub situation,
Sure.
you want to lower somebody
Sure.
in and out. Just for our demo, of course, this rail is shorter than it normally would be.
Yep.
So you could picture a bed here and have this over the bed. I'm
Yep.
picking the person up out of the bed,
And moving them to a
safely
commode.
transferring them to a commode or
Yep.
to a wheelchair.
Yep,
And,
absolutely.
And we have actually installed a different variety where the rail permanently mounts to the
Right,
ceiling.
right.
So I can have this go from my bedroom
Sure.
into the bathroom,
Into the living room.
if it was,
Yeah.
especially if it's a ranch type
Yeah,
home.
yeah.
And they even come, believe it or not, powered. In fact, this one is that. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can put the person safely
Sure.
in their sling, and then I can.
Yeah. We've seen folks with, to Doug's point, long-term disabilities like ALS.
Yeah.
Who are going to be in a declining state and using this. And
Right.
well, this is great. I mean, this has been such a learning experience.
It's been amazing.
This is great.
It's
Doug,
been amazing.
Yeah,
thank you
thank you
very
for coming
much.
by. It was really nice to see you
appreciate
folks
it.
today.
Really
Very
appreciate
exciting,
it.
Very exciting.
And so, Arthur,
Da-da-da-da-da.
yet another show
Yet another show.
comes to an end.
So Shelby always does this, right? And she keeps coming up with these like great shows, right? I had no idea that your company, the company existed, that this wonderful company existed right here in Westborough.
Yeah.
Obviously, we want to thank our guests.
Absolutely.
Who are terrific.
Yeah.
But I really want to thank you for doing
Oh,
this.
you're the best.
Once again, it's one of those great things that's here in Westborough.
That's right.
And we'll look forward to seeing you on the next installment of Frank and Mary here in Westborough.
Thanks for
Thank you very
watching.
much.